Ken Trahan with Lenny Vangilder with our first NBC weekend follow-up, if you will, and another big weekend in sports here this past weekend. And, of course, nothing new yet on the Saints situation regarding penalties and the appeals. Lenny, I'm sure we'll probably find out something shortly now that Easter has passed.
Exactly. There was a school of thought out there that the NFL might try to announce something late in the day on Friday just so it kind of get hidden over the weekend, so to speak. A lot of times you got negative things to put out there. You'll do it on Friday at 5 o'clock. Well, that wasn't the case. Perhaps we hear something as soon as Monday. Maybe it's Tuesday, whatever it is. But clearly they have all the information they need at this point to be able to rule on this appeal, and we'll see what happens.
It was a big weekend of golf, of course, the Masters, and Bubba Watson from Baghdad, Florida, and the University of Georgia wins in Georgia at Augusta National, and he does it on the second playoff hole. Great win for Watson. He's truly a guy that everybody embraces with his style on the course and his actions off the course, the way he conducts himself. He's a very popular guy, and obviously he's the defending New Orleans champ. That's good for New Orleans if he comes back.
If he comes back. He suggested last night, hey, wait, let's, I don't know. But again, these questions are getting asked to him literally minutes after he had put on the green jacket. A lot going on in his life, as you documented this morning here at sportsnola.com. Just adopting a child that is barely a month old. He was literally had a plane waiting for him, revved up on the runway to head back home to Florida to be able to see his child again. And, hopefully his next stop is here in New Orleans in a couple of weeks once he's had a chance to spend some time with family.
Which would be a tremendous boon to the Zurich, which has a great purse. They do an excellent job of running the event. They really deserve to have their day in the sun, and getting Bubba Watson here in 2 weeks would certainly be that. The Hornets are back in action. They got the Lakers in town tonight. Even though it's a Monday night, when the Lakers are here, they will draw.
And maybe a Kobe-less Lakers team. Kobe did not play Saturday night. He is, day-to-day essentially, and a big question mark for tonight, but certainly you're right. The Lakers are in town in the midst of the Hornets' longest homestand of the year. Should be a good atmosphere one way or another in the arena tonight.
No question. Of course, you can follow a live blog. Emmanuel Pepis will be there for sportsnola.com this evening. The Zephyrs got off to a really good start, won 3 out of 4 against Nashville, and the only game they lost 1-0.
Yeah, and they actually held Nashville to 1 hit and lost 1-0. In fact, interesting stat, the team that had the most hits in each game lost every game in the series. You don't see that very often. The Zephyrs got out-hit Thursday, Friday, Saturday, won all 3, held Nashville to 1 hit on Sunday and couldn't win. So baseball's a little crazy sometimes.
Tulane lost 2 out of 3 against Rice. What else is new? That's been going on for many, many years now, where they can't beat Rice.
Rice is the best team in the league, and they had a chance, lost the game on Thursday, got the win back on Friday, and just couldn't capitalize on the opportunity. Talking about 1 hit, they got 1 hit on Saturday. So still an opportunity there. Tulane 3-3 in the league. They are going to need to make some noise in Conference USA if they're going to be playing into June.
Speaking of making noise, LSU going to Florida, beating the number 1 team in the nation 2 out of 3 despite injuries. Aaron Nola can't pitch. McCune steps in. Alex Edward gets hurt. Moore steps in. Goodness gracious. I mean, this looks like a team that's got some resolve.
Exactly. I mean, you get one of your top starters gets roughed around on Saturday, so the former Delgado Dolphin, Brett Von Vallon, comes in, throws shutout relief, gets them into the late innings where they're able to close it. The offense rallies. Those are the kind of wins that you can go back and look at the end of the year. If the Tigers end up making a deep run into the postseason, say, this weekend was the weekend that our season turned around.
Yeah, already lost Chambers. They've overcome a lot this year, so they've shown some real toughness, and obviously this is a team that has a higher ceiling than maybe some thought at this point in time. Lenny, it's always a pleasure. We want to remind people about Sports NOLA TV, 6 p.m. on Monday evening on WHNO Channel 20. Don't miss it. Craig Stelz will be our guest along with Mike Schlein of the Zephyrs, and Lenny, we look forward to it.
It should be fun. One other thing we should mention about LSU baseball, one more chance to see them here in New Orleans Wednesday night, Zephyr Field, Southern Miss for the Wally Pontiff Classic.
Yep, look forward to it. Should be a good one as always. Lenny, thank you, and thank you for listening. This has been our first NBC weekend recap, and for SportsNOLA.com, I'm Ken Trahan.